Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and welcome to the LTPSS All-Star Open here at Tiburon. We've got 14 cars here trying to make the All-Star race. We know 13 will be in, but we have 3 more spots to get into the All-Star race, and these 14 drivers will race it out among themselves on one of the wildest super speedways that have ever been ran on this channel. So Tiburon did not have any dates in the LTPSS, so I decided to make it the home of the All-Star race, much like it was in York Cup Series Season 2. So let's get into your storylines here today. So we have a bit of a number change here. If you kept up with the Omaha 500 news, 5395 Racing, in order to have both their cars entered, had to change the number of their second entry, from 95 to 5, and so now James Edwards will be piloting the number 5 for the rest of the season. That won't really alter any owner points or whatever. It's just interesting, but you see there, James Edwards starting towards the back here today. And you got Trivia May. May is definitely one of the fastest cars here, but didn't have that much of a good qualifying lap, so she's going to have to rally back from that, but of course it's Tiburon, so starting position doesn't matter a whole lot. And Flambeau Camaro, also one of the more experienced drivers in here as well. Third place in the York Legends Series point standings. He's going to try to get his way in. And also Sam Lester, who's been on this channel racing since York Cup Series Season 2. So definitely one of the veterans out here today. And then you've got Hope Wilmington and Riley Neiman, two of the other more fast cars alongside Trivia May. They have proven to have Trivia May, Hope Wilmington, and Riley Neiman have definitely been the 3 fastest cars in practice, but that wasn't necessarily the case in qualifying, as we had a few upsets in qualifying, as you can see up there. But still look for Hope Wilmington and Riley Neiman to be contenders here in this race. And finally, as I said, upsets here. How about this? D. Pepper is on the pole, and only, I believe, his 3rd ever stop motion race, unless we count the BMRN LTP Pro Series, so it's more like 5th or something. This is not a points paying event, of course, so that won't really count for anything, but it's still cool seeing D. Pepper, the rookie. This is the first stop motion series he's ever been a part of, so it's cool to see him on the front row, on the pole, actually. So yeah, let's look at your starting lineup here today. So row 1 is D. Pepper and Trey Wright. Row 2 is Richard Herman and Hope Wilmington. Row 3 is Riley Neiman and Cookie. Row 4 is Zachary DeLello and Game Player 88. Row 5 is Flambeau Camaro and Trivia May. Row 6 is Sam Lester and Caleb Rose. And rounding out the final row is James Edwards and Ray Alton. So here's how this race is going to work. There will be 2 3-lap segments that will be run. The winner of each segment will advance into the All-Star race. And after both segments are over, we will look at the fan vote and see who wins that. And that will be the last driver to make it in. So yeah, here we go. This is going to be a pretty crazy race here. D. Pepper and Trey Wright, a couple of kind of new drivers to this channel, are going to start on the front row, and the green flag is in the air. We're underway in segment 1. See, they're already through turn number 2. D. Pepper had the luxury of having his teammates starting behind him, Richard Herman, and they're going to get out to the lead here, but Riley Neiman's going on the bottom, already making it 3 wide. The pack is already 3 wide as D. Pepper gets shoved out of the way by Richard Herman. It looks like he just got bumper hooked a little bit, but he was able to save it. No wreck, but he's going to be going to the back. How about Riley Neiman now in front? Going to try to block all 3 lanes there. Neiman not so good in the Coca-Cola Premier Series, but is having a good run out here right now, and now he's going to get shoved 4 wide, maybe even 5 wide if James Edwards and Caleb Rose can get up there. They are 5 wide throughout the pack already, and now we've got 3 wide for the lead, it looks like. And James Edwards maybe pulling ahead. Nope, he's got Zachary DeLello, too, is outside. White flag here in this segment. And now we got some teammates lined up on the top and bottom. Trey Wright pushing his teammate Zachary DeLillo. Caleb Rose pushing his teammate James Edwards. More cars going to try to get involved like Sam Lester, but it's likely going to be between these two pairs. Still side by side, Caleb Rose ditches his teammate James Edwards. He's going to go for the win himself. He wants to win it on his own. Can he get there? Him and Zachary DeLillo drag race to the line. The 53's around. He's into the wall, up in the air. And Zachary DeLillo is going to get into the All-Star race by winning segment number 1, as we've got cars junked right at the finish line, including Caleb Rose, who was racing for the segment win, and a couple other really fast cars with him, Riley Neiman and Trey Wright. It's very, very unfortunate for all three of them. They will not be getting into the All-Star race. They will not have a chance in segment number 2 because their cars are junked. So let's look at the replay of what happened on that final lap. So here they are, just past the white flag. You can see right there, James Edwards and Caleb Rose, 5395 Racing teammates on the bottom. They were in the back to start off this race, but they worked together to get back up towards the front. Zachary DeLillo in the 38 being pushed by his teammate Trey Wright in the 34. You see the 78 of Sam Lester in the middle with Game Player 88 behind him. See, they kind of filed out into two lines there as the 78 starts falling back, and now it's a drag race down the backstretch between the two teams here. Caleb Rose ducks down to the inside, ditches his teammate, and I don't really blame him for doing that because he wants to get into the All-Star race himself, obviously. So I wouldn't say that that's a bad move because he's got to run with Flambeau Camaro as well. This is the move I'm kind of worried about right here. He crossed up in front of the 5 car. He wasn't clear and he got turned into the outside wall. Got up in the air there, but fortunately, car came back down on all fours. We saw LJ Toledo flip in All-Star race practice, and seeing that car in the air definitely was concerning, but the car did come back down on all 4 wheels, did not flip over. And as you saw there, Zachary DeLillo wins the segment. Let's look at that last sprint to the line one last time. You see Caleb Rose on the bottom. I'm not sure why he came up. Maybe he was going to go up and try and side draft the front row cars? But he got bumper hooked there by the 5, it looked like. The pointed nose on the Chevys. Proving problematic once again, and you see the 53 once again up in the air, collecting Trey Wright and Riley Neiman, who were very fast in this race. They were both running up front. It's a shame that it took out a couple other really good cars as well. So all 3 of these guys are going to be out of the race. But Zachary DeLillo, how about him? Zachary DeLillo for Front Row Motorsports will advance into the All-Star race. He's had a bit of success on other stop-motion series. Not so much on this channel, though. And he looks like he's just starting to make a name for himself. He was in the York Legends series, and he was pretty good at the beginning of that season, but kind of fell off a cliff around the midway point. He's looking to rally back this season, and this is definitely going to help. And yeah, as you can see, once again, like I mentioned, 34, 6, 53, all out of the race. So we're going to start segment number 2 here. Flambeau Camaro finished second in that segment. He almost beat Zachary DeLillo. He was about half a car length behind at the line. But he is going to start up front here in the second segment. This is the last segment, actually. And he's going to have James Edwards on the outside of him. Ray Alton and Sam Lester behind them. Green flag back in the air here for segment number 2. Flambeau Camaro getting a huge push from the 43 car. We haven't really seen that 43 all season. But Ray Alton up near the front. And they're 3 wide for the lead with Sam Lester on the high side. Maybe going 4 wide with Trivia May. They are 4 wide. Further back in the pack, you see Hope Bloomington and Cookie struggling to get up towards the front. As they are still 3 wide for the lead, heading off of turn 4. And this is all that's left here. Looks like Flambeau Camaro is going to lead that lap. James Edwards and Richard Herman are going to be shuffled back. And here comes Trivia May going to try to go for the lead. She goes up in front of her friend James Edwards there. Sam Lester's going to get a good shove from D. Pepper. How about that? The old and the new. the veteran, being pushed by the rookie. Sam Lester out front for Pacific Racing. Now he's got to block 3 lanes. He's won on a plate track before. Can he do it again to get into the All-Star race? White flag in the air as they're 4 wide behind them again. Lester was being pushed by May, now being pushed by the 8 car, doing a great job blocking. Coming down the backstretch, Hope Wilmington into the picture. And Lester once again up the track. Oh, bad block, not gonna work, he gets turned. Lester gets turned out of the lead, he's gonna collect the 24 as well. But who's gonna win the segment? Trivia May on the inside, Hope Wilmington on the outside. It's a photo finish, but Trivia May gets it. Trivia May will advance into the All-Star race. As you see the wrecked cars of Game Player 88, who was on fire, and Sam Lester in the 78. Sam Lester was leading, coming down into turn number 3, and much like Caleb Rose, just mistimed the block. And unfortunately got turned into the inside wall. Heartbreak for Sam Lester there. Let's look at the last lap, just like with segment number 1. Coming to the white flag, of course, Sam Lester in the lead all by himself. He's got to block all 3 lanes, and that is a difficult task to do with these cars especially. As you can see Sam Lester on the bottom. He keeps going from the bottom to the top. He gets a good run, or that inside lane gets a pretty good run. Coming out of turn 2, Lester goes up to the top lane to block Hope Wilmington, being pushed by D. Pepper. But Trivia May got a run right when he got up there. Lester didn't realize, and he gets turned around, and he gets slammed into by the 24 car that didn't really catch it in the frame, but the 24 car slammed into the back end, picked up the back end of the car, and now this is the race to the line. Trivia May being pushed by her friend James Edwards, and Hope Wilmington being pushed by D. Pepper. A drag race to the finish line, and by that much, Trivia May gets into the All-Star race. It might not be over for Hope Wilmington, though. We still have to look at the fan vote to see if she possibly won that. And here's a look at the margin of victory. Look at how close it was. Can you say she won by a nose? She definitely did. On the inside, Trivia May, with help from the 5 car, wins segment number 2. Trivia May, a lot like Zachary DeLillo, has had some success on other series, mainly the BMRN. Hasn't had a whole lot of success here. She was pretty good in the Legend series, and she did pretty well in the races that she's ran so far this season. But this is really the first time that she's won anything on this channel, and we mentioned that she was one of the fastest cars, one of the 3 fastest cars. It was between her and Hope Wilmington, another one of the 3 fastest cars, to get into the All-Star race. So Trivia May is in, Zachary DeLillo is in, but who won the fan vote? And here are the results of the fan vote. So as you can see, right at the top there, Trivia May and James Edwards were tied for first place in the fan vote, both with 7 votes apiece. And since Trivia May transferred in by winning the second segment, this means that James Edwards has won the fan vote and will be getting into the All-Star race because of it. So how about that? James Edwards pushes Trivia May to the win in the segment and ends up getting rewarded for it, almost. So James Edwards will be in the All-Star race. So here is your 16 driver lineup for the All-Star race tomorrow. There you can see the 13 drivers that are already in. Jeff Toledo, Scarlett Rose, Brian Ferris, Jake Hoover, Jacob Hersner, Grant Hoover, Shane Wensloff, James Johnson, LJ Toledo, Caleb Campbell, Brendan Creason, Brady Wilmington, and Salty Salts. And then the 3 that transferred in, Zachary DeLillo, Trivia May, and James Edwards. So that's it for today. But tomorrow, we'll tune back in and look at the All-Star race itself. It's surely going to be a wild one out here today. So thank you guys for watching. This is Left Turn Productions, signing out.